So yeah, Fishbone, it's a tool used in analysis of different situations, especially like just design, trying to figure out what the cause for different effects is. But I also use it as an extension of the conditional arrow. So what it's supposed to show is that there's more than one conditional statement here where P leads to Q, R can lead to Q, S leads to Q, and T leads to Q. They all lead to Q. Not only that, but there could be other things which lead to Q as well, which sometimes I'll draw as an extension of the fishbone, like where it could keep going. Is the idea. Um, so another way to draw that's common is just like having a Q on the right and showing that P could lead to Q, R leads to Q, S leads to Q, and T leads to Q. But if you look at the truth table for a conditional statement, P, Q, and then P leads to Q, and if you just do the trues and falses, you want all combinations of true and false. And then the only one that is false is when true leads to false, right? So what that implies is that if P occurs, then Q must follow. Like there's no other way it could be. But now it's not just P and Q, it's any of these things. Like if any of these things occur, then Q has to follow. I'll give this simple example of, let's say that you go out with no money. You you arrive home with cash in your wallet. And so there's many things that could lead to you having cash in your wallet. So P could stand for you worked a day job, and that's why you have cash. Or it could be that you worked your night job. Okay, maybe you went to the bank. Or perhaps you went to an ATM. So all these things could result in you having cash. Alright, so which statements are correct? If Q is true, then all of P, R, S, and T must be true. We don't know which one P, R, S, T, or even other could have led to Q. We don't know which one led to it, but we can't conclude that they all caused Q. It's probably not the case that you went to the day job and the night job and the bank and the ATM, and that's why you have cash in the wallet. So this one would be false. So if Q is true, then at least one of P, R, S, and T must be true. All right. So if you look at the fishbone diagram, notice that it keeps going. P, R, S, and T may not be the whole story. There could be other reasons for cash. Like for example, maybe found money on the ground. That was a cause that we didn't list, that we didn't think of, but it could certainly be a cause for Q. So this one is actually false. But the one above it says simply knowing that Q is true would not provide enough information to determine the truth values of P, R, S, and T. That one is true. And here's why. Here's a couple explanations of why. It is possible that you didn't work the day job and you didn't work the night job, you didn't go to the bank, and you didn't go to the ATM, but Q could still be true because of some other cause, such as found money on the ground. That can also be seen in the truth table itself, where this P arrow Q should be considered what's called a premise of the situation. We only want to consider cases where it is true because it was said to be given above. Now, within those possibilities, it's possible for Q to be true and for P to be true as well. But it is also possible for Q to occur where P did not. So just because Q has occurred does not mean that P did, according to this truth table. Simply knowing that Q is false would not provide enough information to determine the truth values of P, R, S, and T. What do you think? Okay, so take that away. Let's start over with this. Alright, change the situation up. Let's say Q represents you ate lunch today. And P could represent you ate pasta for lunch. And R could represent you ate rice. S could be you had a sandwich. And T could be turkey. So eating any of these things causes Q to be true because then you would have ate lunch. But let's say that we know that you didn't eat lunch. Okay, now, could P, R, S, and T be true or no? So knowing that Q is false leads us to determine that all of these must be false. And even some other foods that we didn't include, they would be false too, like salad. We know you didn't eat salad because you didn't eat anything. And the way you can see it from the truth table as well is we still want to assume that the givens are valid. So P leads to Q is true. So only consider those rows, and we don't consider the second row. But if we know that Q is false, then is there any other way for P to turn out other than false? And the answer is no. P must be false. Because there's no other row like where Q is false and P is true. So that's like how the truth table is used in this kind of situation. This one's actually false, and this middle one is true. If Q is false, then P, R, S, and T must all be false. Yeah.